Well, without zooming in, you can't tell what's going on.
Oh, that's true.
Well, good morning. We spent the night down here at Birch Creek and we're headed out. We got about 11 or 12 miles to go, but it's going to take probably 3 or 4 hours. And the view is completely different going up this hill than it was coming down, so I thought we'd share a little bit of that with you. There's several water crossings and lots of views, but it's very smoky this morning, so I hope it's not burning up on top and this is just some smoke that's been blown in from fires that are currently burning. We'll know when we get up on top, I guess.
Was it hard?
I'm going to take just a minute now and share with you an issue that I've had with Gaia GPS before, and explain why this trail route turned out to be a failure. It had partly to do with me, and partly to do with the way Gaia GPS works. After we left Birch Creek Ranch, we drove to the next segment of trail that we had mapped out in Gaia. We were looking for an overland route to Leslie Gulch from Birch Creek Ranch, and this was a route that Gaia mapped out for us by simply picking a start and end point and allowing Gaia to route us between the 2 points. So we started up this long, narrow, rough and steep 2-track hill climb that any self-respecting overlander would be proud to say they conquered, and through this beautiful ravine to the top of Mahogany Mountain. We passed through several gates, and so we knew we were occasionally on private property, but the gates were just chained, and as usual, we closed the gates behind us. But as we crawled our way up the mountain, we were surprised to find that just as we were about to cross over a place labeled Gunsight Pass and go down the other side, we came across another gate but this one was completely blocked, marked private property, 24-hour surveillance, etc., etc. To no one's surprise, it was locked, so I guess the point of this is that when you set up routes in Gaia GPS, you need to be aware that it might not go through, and I'll explain the flaw in my reasoning and in the Gaia app in a special edition video, so stay tuned. Anyway, Gaia rerouted us down a well-maintained gravel road to a highway that any Prius could traverse and wound up adding about 30 miles to our trip that day. Well, good morning. We're about halfway through Leslie Gulch. We left the French lake today. And Leslie Gulch runs down here to the Owyhee Lake. And this is one of the more spectacular drives through Owyhee's. And we're lucky to be here today, but there's a lot of smoke in the air, so it's very hazy. And of course, we got the sun at kind of a late angle. So the views are not the best, the photos are not the best, but we're doing the best we can. Leslie Gulch doesn't disappoint, I'll tell you what. You don't have to go all the way to Moab, Utah to see this kind of sight. Looks like some kind of a natural arch, doesn't it? Yeah, Leslie Gulch, it's a go-to place. Oh, look, a water crossing.
Woo!
Sure is pretty down here. Looks like we have a burned landscape area, it says. And we are entering public lands. But you can't camp anywhere except Slocum Creek Campground.
So far.
At all.
Okay. There's outhouses.
Now the cool thing about this is the view will be completely different coming back out. So we'll maybe get to see some things that we missed on the way in, most certainly.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
Been to a lot of national parks, and this is beyond a national park.
Yeah, I don't know why this isn't a national park, but it's probably best that it isn't. Too many tourists.
Yeah.
Well, here we go again. For the what? Third time this trip? Fourth time this trip? There's no Lake Owyhee.
There's a creek.
Yeah, there's a creek. You know, we should have stayed at the ranch last night. We could have kayaked. We could have floated. We could have fished. We could have. But yeah, we didn't. And so this is what we have now. This is what we get
For wanting more.
for wanting it all. Yeah. Well, that explains why the campground is empty, basically.
Yeah, that would tell you. That would tell you.
I don't know how low this reservoir is.
Well, it had speedboats before.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I've seen,
Pictures. And I know I have friends that have...
postcards.
Yeah, I've had friends that came up here from Primeville to go speedboating, water skiing. And there is no water skiing here. Wow.
Yeah, it's a complete bust. There's, I don't know how far you have to go up the reservoir to actually find water.
Take a picture.
Oh well.
Good night.
Good night. Tomorrow we go home. See, to me it looks like a ring of dots. Morning.
Good morning.
It's the first chilly morning.
Yeah.
There we are. Finally got the camcorder going. Good morning. Well, good morning from the bottom of Leslie Gulch. Or the end of Leslie Gulch. It ends at the Owyhee Lake, or what used to be a lake. I understand about 5 years ago the water was clear up to the boat ramp. Now it's just a river in the bottom of a valley. Yeah, so our hopes for doing some kayaking and fishing have been dashed. I don't know what we'll do. Yeah, this place is pretty ugly. Anyway, so this is the I'm trying to think of the name of it. The Succor Creek? No, we're going to Succor Creek Campground. I guess this is just the Leslie Gulch Campground. Anyway, yeah, beautiful place, but we got a long drive ahead of us, so we're putting together some scrambled eggs from Mountain House, and of course Monica just showed you, here's our Here's our breakfast. We're going to scoop some of that out of there and have it with some of the, oh, how's it turned out?
Scrambled eggs and bacon.
Oh, it looks good. Yeah, did you have to drain off a little water, or was it about right?
No, I had to drain water off, but it tells you to do so.
Yeah. Anyway, this is our camp setup. We've got this enormous table here. We could put everything out. This was really kind of nice. And just an overview of the campground. This is the view out the back door. We've been watching deer walk across the ridge of that hill there. And I understand there's mountain goats too around. Anyway, this is where we're at, and we're getting ready to take off. Go show off your cooking.
Well, we don't know if it worked. We brought sourdough starter, and I fed it with potato flour. And we cooked it this morning. That's our breakfast.
Oh, yeah, that looks
It
really
looks
good.
really good. It didn't rise a whole lot, but I didn't have a whole lot of starter either, so I had to move it all around.
And it's hard to proof it without some kind of source
Yeah.
of heat.
So
But it
we're
looks
going to
good.
try it.
Yep. So this is Succor Creek Canyon at the viewpoint. It's absolutely gorgeous up here. It's still real smoky. So I don't know. I'm hoping this turns out good, because it's really hazy. I got my ultraviolet filter on there though, so that should help.
Succor Canyon. The viewpoint was just down the road, but there's tons of people, so not really. There was 2 people and the dog, but that took up the whole spot, so we stopped here.
What the hell is she doing over there on the edge of that cliff? She scares the hell out of me sometimes.
Leading the way.
So this is the Succor Creek Canyon campground, and aside from a few tents and us and some people stopped at the restroom, there's no one here, and it's a Saturday. So I don't know if this gets used much, but we're going to keep it in mind for the future, because you can come down here and camp right here for 3 or 4 days and there's dozens of roads to explore. So this is the bridge over Succor Creek, and this is the view around it. There might be some fish in there, but I don't know if we're fishing. And the bridge goes across here. I don't know if there's some more camping spots or not. Let's have a look. There might be some fish in there, but I don't know if it's worth fishing. And the bridge goes across here. I don't know if this is some more camping spots or not here. Let's have a look. Yes, there's tables. There's some tables there under the trees. This is an enormous campground. Oh yeah, it goes a long way down. I'm really surprised there's nobody here on a Saturday. And it's nestled under this magnificent rim rock. And it looks like the road goes on up over that hill. I don't know where that goes, but it's an extension of the road we're standing on, I believe. And here's a view of the rest of the campground. Absolutely stunning. Okay, Monica's called me. She says, you gotta come down here. You gotta see this. There's a nice, oh, it's a bench. That's what she was saying.
In loving memory of Sylvia Wink, 11/19/28 to 12/30/14.
Huh. So it's a memorial.
Yeah.
A memorial to Sylvia Winky. Sylvia Winky. Well, let's sit down in it and see what kind of view there is. Shall we?
Must have been her favorite.
Okay.
Got the water.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
a little bit of everything.
The view's okay, I guess.
Must have been Sylvia's favorite spot.
It must have been. It's my favorite spot now. What do you
Like
think?
it.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a dam. We were sitting at the bench there and noticed that there's a pretty good pond of water here. Should we get the kayaks out?
I'm thinking so. I think Sylvia's swimming here.
I don't know. It might be a beaver dam. It looks like something that beavers... Are the ends of
But
the
there's
sticks
rocks.
chewed?
No, they're not.
Okay.
And there's rocks.
Well, I don't think it's a natural... Well, it must be a natural dam of some sort.
Someone helped it, I think.
Uh-huh.
Right up to the viewpoint. I don't know if that's a good spot to go to. Retest maybe.
Well, we climbed up that steep little trail that I showed you earlier to this viewpoint, and this is the canyon looking north with the sun behind us, and it was worth the four-wheel drive in low range to get up here. Absolutely fantastic. Let's turn it on, I guess.
What are you using? Hill descent?
Yeah.
Why does it sound funny?
Oh, because it makes that noise.
It's a bit rocky.
Hill descent control.
Control.
Okay, this is an extremely steep climb. We actually came to a stop over about halfway up. Anyway, and now we're experimenting with the hill descent control here. And I've got my feet off the brakes and the throttle, and I'm just letting her crawl down this steep hill all by herself. She's doing great. It's kind of like an off-road cruise control is what it is. You set what gear you want to put it in and it'll go down at that speed. We're in third right now, so if I go up to fourth, it'll creep down a little faster. It's working great, just like it's supposed to. And we're almost to the bottom. And Bob's your uncle, as they say. All right, so I'm going to go back into drive and turn it off. And yep, worked great. What a fantastic place. Yeah, we did. We came down this way here.
Yeah.
Steep climb, and then we have to
Go through the bushes.
cross the creek here. Yep. It's really rough. When we got to the top, the kayaks had tried to escape by coming out the back. Oh, wow. This is rough. And I didn't take any air out of the tires, but it's just an out and back anyway. So there's wheeling to be done here at Succor Creek.
Yes, there is. Lots of it everywhere.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
But wait, there's more. Yeah. I didn't know the road ran along the cliffside here. This is really cool. Highly recommended. And this is the canyon from the viewpoint we were just at. Well worth the trip through here.
This campsite right here. Right here.
Looks like a picnic site there.
Yeah. Let me take a picture
Of a picnic table, really?
of the whole thing, the whole setup.
Okay, we've got the creek running along here just to our right. There's a few wild camps. We just passed one. Good place to come back to. So we saw the windsock at the top of the hill, and we took the side road. This is actually a runway. Earlier we noticed there was a bush plane flying through the canyon, and I imagine you can land and take off from here. There's piles of white rocks and some white painted tires that indicate probably the end of the runway. Yeah, be a cool place to fly into, I guess, if you're got that kind of courage. So we stopped here at something called Snively Hot Springs, and we can hear people frolicking down here, and hopefully they're not naked. And yeah, this is a nice little hot spring. This is what all the excitement's about. Must be warm water. So that was Snively Hot Springs.
That was so hot
And yeah, Monica stepped in there and didn't realize
that it was that hot, and I jumped out. It was hotter than like a blistering hot bathtub water.
Yeah, and the people that were here were trying to channel the water so that they could make the common area kind of lukewarm rather than scalding hot.
Yes.
So they were building a dam. So he said it would be ready for when we come back next year. The problem is it's a nice hot spring, but it's very accessible. And of course, there could be dozens of people. There wasn't too many there today, but
I think it was just a family.
just a family, yeah, maybe or two, maybe two families. Anyway,
Very friendly.
yep, it's a Saturday in September. Need to get at least one drive-by of Owyhee Reservoir. It's down quite a ways, and this is the reason there wasn't any water at Leslie Gulch. Still beautiful, cool lake. And the dam is coming up. Right there's the dam. Obviously some hydroelectric going on there. There's power lines. Anybody coming?
Yep.
Sure enough. This is the only car we've seen all day. Almost. And we met him at the one-lane tunnel. There she goes again.